Welcome to Stories Podcast. I'm your host, Amanda Weldon. Today's story is called The Blue Corn Maiden, adapted for you by Daniel Hines. The Blue Corn Maiden is a Hopi story about the changing seasons. The Hopi are a Native American people from the Southwest United States. Their true native name roughly translates to the peaceful people. If you listen closely, you may see a resemblance between this story and a Greek myth we've done in the past. Thanks! Enjoy the episode! The Blue Corn Maiden. Over many mountains and down winding streams lived the Hopi people. With them lived a spirit named the Blue Corn Maiden. She appeared as a beautiful young woman dressed all in blue, blue paint on her cheeks and blue strands woven into her flowing dark hair. Being a spirit, she had a bit of magic about her, and she used it to bring comfort and joy to the Hopi people. All year round, the Blue Corn Maiden would work her wonders. With a touch, she could fill an empty bin with delicious blue corn, even in the dead of winter, when nothing would grow. And thanks to her power, the Hopi people were never hungry. One day, the Blue Corn Maiden decided she would go out and gather some firewood. It wasn't something she usually did, but she had already made plenty of corn for the day, and she was feeling a little restless. She slipped on her deerskin moccasins and left her pueblo, which was a cozy home made from adobe mud and stone. Outside, she padded off into the forest. The sun was shining gold and bright, but there was a chill in the air. It rode in on the breeze, making the Blue Corn Maiden give a slight shiver and rub her arms. "Cold already," she said to herself, "and it's barely even fall. What does Winter think he's doing?"
"It's my time,"
came a voice. The Blue Corn Maiden spun around, but there was no one. The words seemed to come from the wind itself. "Who said that?"
"I'm sorry,"
said the breeze, and then the wind roared, bursting into a flurry of snowflakes and booming with a thunderclap. A moment later, the breeze was gone, and there stood the Winter Katsina, the spirit that brings winter to the world. "Winter, what are you doing here? It's barely fall. Go spread your snow in the mountains." Winter Katsina smiled. His breath came out frosty in the air, and his teeth shone like ice behind his blue and white mask.
"Oh, I'm not here to spread snow," he said.
"Then why are you here?" asked the Blue Corn Maiden, shivering as winter's breath passed over her.
"I'm here for you. I've decided that you, the most beautiful and beloved of the spirits, should be my love. Come with me to the home of winter and live with me like a queen."
The Blue Corn Maiden took a step back. "My place is here, with the Hopi people. I make the corn. It's what I love. To see them fed and happy, it makes me happy. So no, I can't come home with you to the home of winter."
"That's where you're wrong,"
said Winter. There was a clap of thunder and a howling blizzard's gale, and the Blue Corn Maiden felt cold all over and then dizzy, and then, with a crack of ice, she found herself in a pueblo made of ice and stone. "Winter, what have you done?" She ran to the window and looked out. Outside was nothing but a plain of snow. Snow piles, snow drifts, great mountains of snow gleaming like the sun itself. Snow driven in waves before the wind and then crashing and bursting into flurries. "Is this? You've brought me to the home of winter!" Winter smiled again and gestured to a pile of furs.
"I've brought you plenty of warm clothes, nothing but the softest. I'm sure you'll like it here."
"You can't do this! What will the Hopi do without my blue corn? I told you I didn't want to come." But Winter didn't care. No matter how much the Blue Corn Maiden begged or raged or pleaded or stormed, Winter didn't care. Eventually, the Blue Corn Maiden stopped fighting. She began to pretend instead. She pretended she loved the snow. She pretended she loved Winter Katsina. She even pretended to love being away from home. Finally, after weeks of pretending, Winter Katsina finally decided to leave her alone in the home of Winter.
"Now remember, no running away while I'm gone," he said, his voice frosty in the air even here.
"Of course not," said the Blue Corn Maiden. "It's beautiful here, and no one expects me to make corn for them. What more could I want?" Winter smiled and began to leave. The Blue Corn Maiden felt her heart swell. Her plan was working. He would leave her alone and she could make her escape. The door closed behind Winter Katsina. The Blue Corn Maiden watched it intently as it shut. The moment it did, she ran to fetch all her things for the journey. She had her furs, so many that she looked more like a bear than a girl. She also had some yucca leaves, long and green, left behind from a meal Winter had brought her. "All right then," she said, after waiting a bit for Winter to truly be gone to spread his snow. "Time to go!" She went to the door, but it wouldn't open. She pushed and heaved and planted her feet, but it wouldn't budge. Had she been locked in? She ran to the nearest window. Oh, no! It seemed that Winter Katsina didn't trust her that much after all. The windows, all of them, were sealed with a thick layer of ice and snow. The door must be as well, she realized. What do I do now? She looked all around the house of Winter, hoping to find something to tunnel through the snow, but there was nothing. All she had was her fur clothing and the 4 yucca leaves. It's no use. Winter Katsina is too strong. The only one as powerful is Summer Katsina. If he was here, he could melt away all this ice and snow and I'd be free. She eyed the yucca leaves again. Summer Katsina loves warmth, and he's been a friend for ages. Maybe if I can build a fire, he'd come help. She carefully arranged her yucca leaves and then focused intently. Usually her magic was only good for corn, but if she tried hard enough... A tiny flame appeared on the tip of her finger. Not enough to melt even a snowflake, but enough to kindle the yucca leaves into a strong little fire. It burned slow, spreading warmth and light into the home of Winter for the first time ever. Living in the ice and snow, summer, won't you come? Do some good for the green to grow, summer, won't you come? Barely feel my little toes and I think my brain is numb. Too much frost and the love is lost, summer, won't you come? Winter's got me buried deep, summer, won't you come? Need some hot and hazy heat, summer, won't you come? My lips will freeze from singing, and then I'll have to hum. I no doubt need thawing out, summer, won't you come? Snow has had its season now, summer, won't you come? Ice won't listen to reason now, summer, won't you come? Can't live how I wanna, and it's got me feeling glum. Hear my plea, please rescue me, summer, won't you come? Summer, won't you come? Summer, won't you come? Hear my plea, please rescue me, summer, won't you come? I need that season to begin, summer, won't you come? I need some sunlight on my skin, summer, won't you come? Hope that you like snowmen, 'cause that's what I'll become. Here to say no more delay, summer, won't you come? Summer, won't you come?
Summer, won't you come? Hear my plea, please rescue me. Summer, won't you come?
The Blue Corn Maiden was quiet for a moment, and then she heard a knock on the icy exterior of the door.
Hello, Blue Corn Maiden, is that you?
It was Summer, Katsina. Yes, Winter took me away and has trapped me in his home.
There's so much snow and ice, but I can feel your fire inside. Put it near the door and I'll help you.
Carefully, the Blue Corn Maiden moved her little yucca leaf fire to the door. A second later, the flames reared up like a snake and smashed through the door, melting the ice and snow with a hiss. Summer Katsina climbed through a second later. Thank you, cried the Blue Corn Maiden.
Good trick with the fire. I never would have looked for you here otherwise.
You were looking for me?
Of course! All of the Hopi, too. They miss you terribly.
And I miss them. Let's get out of here. It grew suddenly cold, the yucca fire dying down to the barest of flames. Oh no, we need to go.
You're not going anywhere.
It was Winter Katsina, pushing his way in through his ruined door. In each hand he held a long icicle. They gleamed in the firelight, sharp as daggers.
Summer, you stay out of this. Blue Corn Maiden is mine now.
I don't belong to anyone, she said back. I want to go back to the Hopi, back to my life. Just let me go.
We're leaving,
said Summer Katsina. Winter Katsina roared a howling gale and charged at Summer. With a flash, Summer burst into golden flame and melted the icicles. Winter raged again and called upon all his power. Summer was surrounded in swirling snowflakes. He tried to flash into flame, but it flickered and went dark again. The golden color seemed to drain from Summer's body.
Too cold,
he shivered.
You were foolish enough to challenge me in the home of winter, surrounded by snow.
The Blue Corn Maiden couldn't take it anymore. Stop! She threw herself between the two Katsinas. Winter stopped his spell and Summer dropped to his knees, breathing in deeply from the yucca flames. No more fighting! There needs to be peace between us, for the good of everyone. Winter whined and Summer sputtered, but she eventually got them to sit down together. They immediately argued again over where the Blue Corn Maiden should live.
She belongs here with me, in the home of winter. She wants to be with the Hopi, and they rely on her to keep them fed during the winter. They should just save what she gives them in the summer and fall. That's not up to you to decide. Well, it's certainly not up.
Enough! Winter Katsina, if I live with you during winter, will that be enough? I'll make sure the Hopi have plenty of corn to get them through, and then I'll come here to keep you company. Winter still wasn't happy, but he agreed to the deal. The Blue Corn Maiden was allowed to return home to the Hopi, and she filled their storehouses with her delicious blue corn all fall, and then, when the time came, she returned to the home of winter. And that is why, the Hopi say, you can't grow corn during the winter, because the Blue Corn Maiden is with the Katsina, living in his home of ice and snow. And that is also why, sometimes when spring is just beginning to bloom, you get 1 or 2 last days of cold weather and snow. Because Winter Katsina is upset he has to let the Blue Corn Maiden return to her home, and he wants everyone to feel his anger. And of course, every spring, the Hopi celebrate their Blue Corn Maiden finally coming home. The end. Thanks for listening!